I'm going to get in
Currently,
placements. I'm going to get
sure.
placed super high, so it's fine. I'm not going to get put in bronze, right? Silver 3, man. I figured it would like figure out my SR and then kind of like figure out I'm not silver. We need to talk about placements. I've been learning Rogue on an alt account, and some of you have been disappointed that I am playing in lower elo lobbies, and rightfully so. This was never actually my plan, as I thought placements were going to put me somewhere closer to Plat, Diamond, or maybe even GM. Because while I might be able to play Psylocke, Cap, and Rocket at a Celestial level, I can't play all the other characters at that level. And because quick play is such a different environment, I don't think that that's the best place to learn, so creating an alt account specifically to learn other heroes has always been sort of the go-to way to get better at the game. I was also very disappointed to learn that this is how placements work, especially for new, fresh accounts. And it's one of the things I addressed first on stream within the very first placement matches. Or I being mean to low elos? I thought the placements were going to put me in like someplace higher. Because like placements in other games would put me into Diamond. I will say that like, I do feel bad. Like I never wanted to do like an unranked to Celestial. I do feel really bad. I'm never going to do this again knowing that I start in silver though. But had I not done this, I wouldn't have known, and at least now I feel like I'm a more informed content creator, so I better understand the new player's experience, but can also hopefully use my platform to call out why it's not working the way that it should. I figured it would work just like Overwatch, where after 6 hours of quick play, it would very quickly figure out that I belong somewhere in high diamond or low masters, and I would go from there. And this current system only really works if you have a previous match history, but if you're a fresh new account, it really doesn't work well. Also, I want to clarify the difference between Smurfing accounts and alt accounts. A Smurf account traditionally is known as an account where people intentionally lose to try and get to a lower elo, so that way they can intentionally stomp on lower lobbies. Or you're playing heroes that you already know how to play at your rank and you're doing so on a lower rank. This to me is what Smurfing is. An alt account, by the way, ALT, alternative account, is meant for a specific purpose. If you are typically a support player but you want to learn DPS and tank, because of the lack of role queue, you might want to have an alternative account just to learn those different roles. Because while you might find yourself to be a GM level support player, you might only be a plat level DPS and tank, and you kind of want to work on that on the side. Alt accounts are great for you to learn new heroes, for you to learn new roles, for you to challenge yourself to try different things. So anytime I'm on an alt account, I am intentionally not playing the heroes I already know how to climb with because I've already done that. Now that I have a better understanding of how placements work, especially on fresh accounts, it's opened my eyes to the problems that we have and the reason why performance-based SR is still in the game the way that it is. Because with placements still putting people so low, you still need performance-based SR to sort of boost people and get them out of the ranks faster, but once again, that's not exactly the best way to get people to rise through the ranks, but as I've talked about many times before, a performance-based system just can't really exist. It's never going to give you a good accurate representation of what a good performance is. So it'll artificially inflate bad players while holding some other players back that don't deserve to be held back. So even if we address the placements, we still also need to address the performance-based SR problem. This also doesn't solve the Smurf problem, because the whole point of placements was to get Smurfs out of the low elo games entirely. It was meant to take those players who are already really good and place them in Platinum, Diamond, or GM. You shouldn't have people able to create new accounts and start in Silver 3. And since it forces you to grind a lot of quick play before even jumping into ranked, it should know based off of your quick play matches and how you performed there as to what rank you might belong in. Placements only seem to work if you have a previous match history, and I don't think that's the way it should be implemented. It isn't fully addressing the problems that placements were meant to solve. This also has me thinking a lot about how people have always been talking about how EOMM and how the matchmaking is always so bad, and they've always tried to find a way to explain why they get these big swings and why matchmaking seems so unbalanced. And we've defaulted to thinking that the system is so advanced that it's intentionally making you lose. But after going through this experience, it's made me wonder that what if it's the opposite? What if the system is so simple that it's just really bad at placing people in matches together? Because while it is a fresh account, it should absolutely know that I do not belong in gold. And with this being NetEase's first really big game, it kind of makes me think that that might be the case. It's just a guess. It's just kind of the feeling I'm getting after going through this experience, because it really doesn't make any sense that the placements work this way. I've never done any unranked to Celestial videos before. I was intentionally waiting until placements were implemented before I ever even attempted to do any of this, because I had assumed naturally that I would get placed higher. So why did I want to do it now? I wanted to see what the new player experience was like, as it's massively changed from how the game was first created. By understanding what the new player experience is and what they go through helps me be a better informed content creator and helps me better understand how the game works. Like I said, I would not have known about a lot of this had I not gone through this experience, and now that I know, I'm definitely going to do things differently. You definitely won't see me do another unranked to Celestial if this is how it's implemented. I also wanted to learn Rogue and Brawlers because of the fact that I don't really have any guides on them. And I realized last season, as I was really trying hard to grind, that I couldn't learn new heroes, and a lot of people were asking me to learn other heroes so that way I could make guides on them. But you really only have time to choose one when you're working a full-time job and doing this. It's either you're going to grind ranked with the heroes that you already know, or you're going to learn new heroes, but you can't really do both. I also wanted to show people that solo queue doesn't hold you back. One of the most common comments that I get in a lot of my videos is that the only reason that I'm able to climb the way that I am is because of the fact that I'm stacking with friends. And I wanted to show people that stacks are not holding you back. You can solo queue just fine, and if anything, you have a better chance at solo queue than you do in groups. I also wanted to show people that tanks win games. There are so many insta-lock DPS players out there that so many people are solo tanking or you almost have no tanks at all. When in all actuality, I believe that tank is the best role to play to help you climb through the ranks. I also wanted to show people that game sense and strategy will beat mechanics any day. As I'm playing a lot of these games, I'm not popping off and deleting a lot of people and getting a bunch of kills. I'm helping enable my team and I'm showing how I do that. I'm showing by ult tracking how I'm able to shut down enemy plays before they happen, and I show how I'm timing my engages with my team and playing off of the actions that they're making. And game sense and strategy to me are a lot easier to master than mechanics are. And lastly, I wanted to show that low elo players are not as bad as people think, and that my guide showing you how to work with your team works in every single elo. It's all about playing with the team that you have and the rank that you're at, and understanding what the enemy's win condition is and how to play against it. I really want to dispel this myth that you're only able to carry once you get to a rank where you have better teammates. Currently, at the time of recording this, I have gone 19 wins and 0 losses on Rogue on my unranked account, and many of those games were very close. A lot of those wins came from just good shot calling and good teamwork and helping peel and helping enable my team. And it wasn't through farming MVPs, something I'm not even trying to do. So although some people are going to have the idea that I'm ruining games, you can go back and watch them and see that a lot of them were really close and a lot of them were very good games. I've seen other people do unranked Celestials on Rogue, and many of them have losses where I don't. Even Melio, who is one of the best players in the world at this game, was playing Psylocke last season, and even he lost 4 games once getting to Plat 2. It is impossible to carry these games single-handedly yourself. At the end of the day, it's a team game. Despite that this isn't the way I wanted things to go, I'm still going to try and make something positive from this. I'm streaming my games as Rogue, and I'm doing my best to try and narrate and tell people what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and when, to better help educate people as the strategy behind the game. After some matches, I'll also go back from VOD reviewing and show why things work the way that they did and how to properly play Rogue and do these things to help enable your team. I'm also hoping by getting this information out there for other players who might not know that this is how things are implemented, that we might be able to ask for a better implementation of placement matches. NetEase does seem very receptive to make changes, so I think if enough people ask for it, they'll start to make changes to improve it. I do apologize to the people that are disappointed that I was playing in low elo games. I agree with you, I don't belong in those ranks, and I thought that once I got through placement matches, it might get a little bit better, and I was wrong. I legitimately thought that maybe if I won enough of my placements, it might rush me up to the higher elos faster. And I'm disappointed seeing that this is the way that it's been implemented. But now that I know, I do believe it's good that I have a better understanding of what new players are going through, as well as what low elo players are going through. And this is not about to become a regular thing with me because I have no interest in playing in lower elo lobbies. I really did think this was just going to be a simple alt account placed in Diamond and gradually working my way up. So once again, I am sorry for playing in lower elo games. I know it's disappointing for some of you, but I'm going to do my best to bring something positive out of this. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. I just wanted to inform everyone else because I didn't know that this is how placements worked. And now that I know, and hopefully others know, hopefully we can get NetEase to make some changes. Anyway, thanks for watching.